in this video we will be presenting the main activity. It has this board. It's the main board with the word problems. It has number cards, yeah, starting from 0 to 10 up to 10. And we also have, in our case, we have Lego bricks, but it could be linking blocks, like counting blocks, or anything teacher could use in order to have her students counting. So we also see that the word numbers, they're following a pattern. So we can see that in the orange boxes we have the start, in the purple we have the change, and in the green the result. Also the word problem has two parts. So there is the purple part. This is the first part of the problem, and then something is happening, and it's the orange part, and then we have the result and the word that is standing out because of its color, showing us what we have to do actually. So it's a clue, and the students should be familiar by now with this strategy and how we work. So first we have the start. Here they know that the biggest number goes. Then we have the change. Something is happening to this number. We have the change, and then it leads to the result. Yeah. And they also, in each problem, they have to use a different strategy, a different model to show us their thinking. So for instance, number lines, number bones, frame of 10. And here in the last part, this is a challenge for the students who would probably finish faster than the rest of the students. And yeah, and we decided that it can be done either in groups or individually. If we have more copies of this, we could basically laminate it, make photocopies and laminate it so that each student have their own. They could write with the marker and erase afterwards, or they could get simply photocopies and write with a pencil their answers. And the reason is that we would like, as teachers, to actually use it as an assessment and see whether there are some misconceptions, or whether some students are struggling with certain strategies. And yeah, so what they would do is that they would put the numbers into the bag, and then they would choose two numbers, so 7 and 2 in our case, and they should know by now that the biggest number goes to the start, so the orange box. And here we have our problem. So Marcus had 7 cards, then 2 draw, and how many left? And in this case, they need to use the number line, so 7, and they know that they have to jump 2 times, so 5 is the answer, and they would go and write it either there or in their worksheet. By the same token, here they should know that start is here, so it's here. They should write 7. Change, something happened here, they should write 2, and they should know that it makes 5. Please ignore this one. It happened because outside the snow is melting. So yeah, in this case we have students should be using the Lego to show their thinking, and again we have the same pattern. So orange is the start, the change, and the result. Change, purple, result, green. So we had 7 of those, and then something happened. So we know that Meta ate 2 apples. So we can put them here. This is the change. And how many left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we could write it here. And here we have a bit different structure. So we see that Stina had 7 apples. We know that Start is the biggest. Eleni has 2 pencils. So yeah, we know that the change is smaller. And the formulation of the problem is that how many more pencils has Stina than Eleni. And again, the students will be introduced to this kind of problems, and they would know that also the word more indicates subtraction. And in this case, they have to show it coloring in the frame, and Stina would be green and Eleni would be blue. And this is for the students who would finish faster than the rest. And here again, they need to draw numbers so they know that their equation would be, but here they don't have the words here, so they should be knowing by now that this is the start, this is the change, and we need to find the result. They also have the minus here indicating that it's subtraction, and they need to make their own word problem, and they should show the steps just like we did. So we should have the first part of the problem, then we have to have the second part, then we have to show the start, the change, and the result. And since it's the first grade, they might know how to write, they might not know, so we give them the option to write or to draw. And in the third part, they have to show us their thinking. So again, using the strategies of the number ball, number line, 10 frame, and Legos. And we also give them the possibility to show some strategies that they might be using. So some strategies that they may have come up. And this is done so that we can, again, spot some misconceptions. Yeah, and that's the end of the activity.